I rest at my workstation in the headquarters of the Financial Oversight Bureau, encircled by piles of regulatory documents on banking standards. My workspace is neat and ordinary, similar to how my relatives view me, Emily Harper, 32 years old, the reserve type with a secure position in public service, nothing noteworthy about it. My private cell buzzes on the surface. A message pops up from my credit watchdog app with a headline from the monitoring company. There's a fresh check on my records. I press the alert and read through it. A recent review has come from Coastal Heritage Bank. The institution's title doesn't ring any bells for me. I stay composed. Rather, a sharp, abrupt quietness washes over me. My experience as a lead examiner at the FOB takes over instinctively. My sight sharpens, zeroing in with the accuracy honed from countless audits of monetary misconduct. This isn't bewilderment muddling my mind. It's awareness. Somebody has initiated the opening play in a scenario I'm deeply familiar with. A family lunch from last month rushes back to me. Only a couple of weeks earlier, everyone assembled at my folks' place in a quiet suburb outside the city. The recollection is vivid and exact. Sophia, my 35-year-old sibling, arrived fashionably delayed, as she always does. She toted a purse I recognized as pricier than my rent each month, the brand emblem boldly shown. She boasted about her investment deals and entertained the group with tales of her escape to a coastal retreat. The Whittaker holdings have surged this period, she proclaimed to our parents, who looked at her with open awe. We're overhauling the whole innovation sector. My dad, James, grinned broadly. My mom, Margaret, clasped Sophia's arm affectionately. Then Sophia's gaze landed on me, like it invariably did when she wanted to belittle someone. Still shuffling papers for the finance department, her tone oozed phony kindness. You ought to try enjoying life more. I grinned and stayed silent, the part I've mastered since we were kids. Afterward, I observed from the side door as she got into her shiny new luxury SUV, worth over 60 grand in polished steel, and drove off swiftly. Her expenditures recently had been outrageous, way past what her role at the tech company could support. Now, gazing at this credit notice, the fragments align. I tuck my device away and proceed calmly to a private conference space with noise barriers. Once secluded, I shut the entrance and call Sophia's line. She picks up after several tones. This is unexpected. I'm stepping into a discussion soon. Sophia, just a fast inquiry. My words are mild tender, the sound of little M, the harmless one. I received an odd credit warning. Did you accidentally use my info for something? Her chuckle is lively, brushing it off. You're overthinking, M. Wow, your work is turning you distrustful of everybody. It must be dull. My breathing stays even. So, no, definitely not. Her pitch grows firmer. Need to dash important session. The connection ends. I set the phone down deliberately. Staring at the empty display, the facade of sweet M fades from my expression. Replacing it is the neutral look of Examiner Harper, the one my co-workers at the FOB recognize, the one my kin have never witnessed. I realize, without doubt, that Sophia was dishonest. Most folks might experience hurt, astonishment, or fury. I sense none of that. Only a detached, logical sharpness. My sibling has committed a grave mistake. She selected a victim who excels in uncovering fiscal offenses. I head back to my station, signing into my protected official console. With quick inputs, I enter databases that hardly anyone beyond the bureau knows about. I open a fresh internal dossier form and hesitate, my digits poised above the keys. This goes beyond a simple credit check. This concerns breaching a boundary that can't be reversed. Once I enter my details here, there's no retreat. I input Harper, Emily in the header. Then, discreetly and expertly, I start logging the initial proofs unofficially. The credit notice, the sequence of events, the lender, the conversation with Sophia, and her reply verbatim. I record the family meal, the SUV, the latest buying habits that surpass her earnings. While I proceed, the daylight dims beyond my view. My associates wrap up and depart. The space quiets, yet I persist, systematic and attentive. This isn't emotional anymore. It's dossier FOB 45A72. My relatives have consistently undervalued me. They've confused my silence for fragility, my public role for absence of drive. They've never grasped that being overlooked is a form of protection. Sophia will discover this the tough way. I store the document and log out. Tomorrow, the genuine probe begins. For the moment, I collect my items and head to my aging compact car in the underground lot. As I commute to my simple dwelling in a nearby town, I feel oddly serene. The reserved one with a stable public position has initiated conflict, and my sibling remains unaware. The following morning at the bureau, I retrieve my complete credit history via my authorized access at the FOB. The soft drone of the environment recedes as I fixate on the monitor. It's more severe than a mere review. There, in clear electronic detail, is a novel account entry, a $90,000 unsecured borrowing from Coastal Heritage Bank, sanctioned a few days prior. My pulse accelerates briefly before my preparation stabilizes it. Impossible, I murmur, my hands already navigating the input device. I fetch the electronic submission swiftly. All the data is mine, my identity, my impeccable rating cultivated through diligent handling, my identification number. But the endorsement, I enlarge it, examining the curved imitation of my script. It's counterfeit and poorly done. Sophia didn't bother to perfect it. The curves are overdone, the angle incorrect. As though she deemed it unworthy of her effort. The declared earnings draw my notice next. Boosted by hundreds of thousands above my real bureau pay, I capture the image, securing it in a protected directory. I recline in my seat, palms crossed on my thighs, the overhead illumination humming. The bureau maintains its routine around me, devices ringing, inputs clacking, subdued chats. While my existence has shifted dramatically, Sophia has forever been the highlight, the favored offspring. From early music performances to top of her class in secondary school to her allegedly elite tech role, she's the one our parents, James and Margaret, proudly display at reunions. I've been the secondary consideration, the silent one, with the secure public position, as they casually label it. They fostered this. Their enduring bias constructed Sophia's entitlement, step by step, season after season. Their unending acclaim nourished her conceit until she thought she could seize anything, including my persona. The screen's glow illuminates my features as the consequences absorb. This isn't merely obligation, it's deception. This $90,000 borrowing, linked to my profile, could threaten all I've achieved. My governmental authorization, the bedrock of my profession, demands impeccable monetary history. Any suggestion of fiscal misconduct, and I'll forfeit not only my occupation but the existence I've meticulously assembled apart from my family's influence. Sophia hasn't simply taken funds. She's imperiled my whole world, the one I forged privately, the one that truly counts. My immediate urge is to contact the lender, challenge the entry, and halt it right away. My fingers reach for the device, but pause. No, that's precisely what she'd anticipate. If I contest now, Sophia will be notified. She'll erase traces. She'll concoct a tale for our parents about my confusion, my misinterpretation. I'll be depicted as the overwrought younger sibling again, while she conceals her path. This isn't a household issue now. It's an offense site. I launch my safe navigator and commence assembling my dossier as if Sophia were any typical corporate offender I scrutinize routinely. My expertise guides me with accuracy and poise. Initially, I carefully image everything: the submission, the fake endorsement, the rating summary, the borrowing specifics. Each capture is marked with date and time, preserved on a fortified system. Then I match the borrowing's release date with Sophia's online profiles. Her social feeds are a showcase of lavish living. An entry from recently grabs me, a self-portrait in a vast lounge with tall panes viewing the urban horizon. The note says secured the entry, high-rise existence, grateful. The timing matches right after the funds became available. I query open real estate logs next. The fresh upscale unit under her name was acquired shortly ago. The initial payment $85,000. The leftover $5,000 could handle relocation costs. And that luxury tote she showed off at the meal. I settle back. The puzzle is complete in my thoughts. I possess the reason, her extravagant habits. The method, my pilfered persona. The electronic trail linking it all. The setup is ready. Now for the admission. I seal the documents and power down, acting with the same subtle proficiency as always. To observers, I'm merely Emily Harper concluding her shift. Nothing out of place. As I proceed to my vehicle in the dimming lot, I feel remarkably peaceful. Sophia has never appreciated the strength of endurance, of strategic outlining. She's always pursued immediate rewards, rash choices, swift outcomes. I activate my compact car starter. I'm engaging in an extended strategy. The silent one with the secure public position is pursuing. And my sibling doesn't suspect she's the target. Months drift by. I hold back. The installments for the $90,000 obligation show on my alerts, each scraping the due date minimally. Sophia is prudent enough to dodge failure, clever to evade quick repercussions, too haughty to foresee real ones. I've observed, awaited. Recorded my workstation device chimes on a midweek afternoon. I identify my mom's contact immediately. Emily, dear. Margaret's words hold that known enthusiasm for declarations, not exchanges. We're hosting a household supper at our spot this weekend. Sophia has thrilling updates. I observe the insistence, the assumption. This isn't an invite. It's a command. What sort? I inquire, tone even. She prefers to reveal it personally. You know her style, a break. You'll attend. Naturally, I respond. After disconnecting, I remain still at my station, eyeing the oversight documents pending my evaluation. Months of quiet, and now this. The schedule isn't random. Sophia can't resist displaying her successes. Legitimate or not, I sense this is the moment. The overconfidence, the urge to parade. Weekend evening, I position my aging compact at distance from my parents' suburban residence, the familiar brick house of our youth. Through the front glass, I spot Sophia's luxury SUV commanding the drive, shining under the entry lamps. Next to it is my dad's practical car, overshadowed. I verify my device before leaving the vehicle. The capture program is current, verified, prepared. The area allows single-party recording. I place the gadget in my coat and approach the entry. M. My mom opens before I tap, as if monitoring. Her hug carries hints of red wine and the costly scent my dad gifts annually. All are present. The eating area is set with care that indicates preparation time. Fine plates, clear stemware, cloth serviettes shaped neatly. My dad lingers by the hearth, sipping whiskey. Sophia dominates near the large window, motioning with a partially drained glass. See who arrived. Sophia remarks, grin strained. The authorities must be delayed today. I smile, ignoring the jab. Road delays. The meal unfolds with the expected flow of our gatherings. My dad chats about sports achievements. My mom asks about Sophia's latest work travel to a major city. I reply to queries on my small home and if I've considered a path with greater promise than the bureau, the standard routine. But Sophia is altered this night. She hums with restrained vigor. Her glances dart to me, sometimes evaluating, plotting. She tops her glass multiple times before dishes are removed. As my mom presents sweets, a fancy fruit creation Sophia prefers, I set my device on the surface by my drink. Face hidden, ordinary, the indicator concealed on the wood. Sophia elevates her glass, striking it gently. The sound quiets the chatter. I have news, she declares, face warm with drink and excitement. Her stare fixed on mine, a grin that misses warmth. Amusing tale, she proceeds, volume high. I borrowed your rating for a 90 grand advance. Silence envelops the space. My dad halts, utensil paused. My mom's expression stays, unsure. They observe me, awaiting the known response. M takes the hit. M yields. Sophia advances, encouraged by quiet. My rating was low. Yours? Perfect. Appreciate me for enhancing it. The instant lingers. I feel peaceful, rhythm steady. I regard Sophia without wavering. Why, Sophia? I question, words soft yet distinct as slender deceit. Sophia chuckles, tone fragile. Don't exaggerate, M, it's kin. Using another's details falsely for funds is a national offense. I persist calmly. Up to decades behind bars and huge penalties. Sophia's grin wavers briefly before recovery. You're tedious. It's forms, who'll notice, who'll mind. The Financial Oversight Bureau might mind. Investigators might. I sip liquid. Used it for the unit start. Doubt flickers on her. How? Just wondering, I state. That adds transfer deceit. They stack terms. My dad coughs, setting utensil down loudly. Emily. Surely Sophia meant no wrong. She's driven. Always. James. My mom cautions quietly. Sophia's features stiffen. Relax, Dad. M won't act. She never does. She faces me. You wouldn't tell your bureau pals why your kin needed your clean rating, right? Questions on loyalty. Each phrase captured. Each moment logged. The statement is pure, bold, irrefutable. I glance at time. Mustly early commitment. Departing, my mom's pitch rises. No brew yet. Apologies. I rise, grabbing device duties. Sophia toasts falsely. Bureaucracy rolls on M. I acknowledge parents politely, disregard Sophia exit. Fresh air cleanses the tension. I enter compact, drive to bureau outpost, not home. Structure mostly vacant now, guard familiar, no queries. Lights hum on. I access console. Open dossier built over time. I complete disclosure form precisely. Attach sound from meal. Add fake papers. Tract reports, unit by logs from public. Review all, verify. Transfer to joint unit. Submit watch dossier, escalate. Response launched. Monday dawn, I reach outpost early. Sealed packet with proofs on seat like charge. Sign security. Badge shines under lights as I navigate invisibly. Station device rings at exact time. Victoria Hayes' aide tone sharp. Director Hayes requests you now, Miss Harper. Path to office seems extended. Doors, checks, breath, knock. Com Hayes from inside. Victoria Hayes behind solid desk, posture rigid. At 58, she directs without volume rise. Gray hair in tight knot, specs on nose. Proof collection open. Harper, she indicates seat. Sit. I comply, hands composed to avoid motion. Pulse even. Hayes removes specs, places beside, reviewed your materials, eyes keen, evaluate. Solid, clear custody, undeniable proofs. I affirm once, expression professional, solid Harper, clean, recused now, words suspend. Fact from years in service. Hayes shuts collection softly. Investigators, prosecutors have it. Protocol for kin cases. She inclines slightly, look almost gentle, and Emily, by rules. Sorry for kin, tone recognition, not sympathy. Wonder if Hayes faced similar, chose obligation over ties. Thanks, ma'am. Steady, no more. Machine I serve now aids me. Case beyond me proper. Shields probe, shields me. Back to station, messages pile, reviews, docs, checks, filings. Work through systematically. Midday passes, eat at desk. Examine report from distant bank. Study patterns from union elsewhere. Respond to calls from examiners far. Commuting compact, engine steady to town roads. Invisible again. Reserved with secure job, device alerts evening parents. Consider ignore but answer. Emily. Mom's tone forced joy. Seem troubled at supper, dear. Checking. Silent wait. Sophia's way fills. Driven no harm. Dad interrupts speaker. Sister's big things. M. Needs adaptability. Code for rule bend, law break. Must go flat. Commitment. Disconnect before reply. No commitment. Apartment quiet. Justice paces slow. Week elapses. Machine progresses. Unseen to unaware. Relentless. Routine continues. Divide examiner Harper. Sister Emily total. Until morn. Device vibrates in session with team. Discuss standards for small institutions when alert. No need check. No agents near Sophia's unit lot. Suits, badges. Identify charges, rights. Not present. No need. Proofs built. Reports. Fakes. Transfers to her. Sound of voice worked. Emily. Colleague Alex expects. Views on limits. Throw clear. Structure burdens small assets. Suggest levels by risk not uniform. Session on. World spins. Justice moves. Across. Sister learns known. Power not in luxuries. In control. Structures flawless work. Some revenge, I compliance. Friday morn, agents come Sophia's unit precisely. Records on table, bags, corners. Examiner navigates device. Another list safe behind art. Victoria Hayes centers overseas. Extent, asks. Agent from docs. Not just Emily. 7 identities. Lone 7. Hayes brows up. Associates, Pauls, and parents, James, Margaret, Harper. Hayes nods. Some, over 400 grand deceit institutions. Hayes to window. Views area Sophia entered falsely. Clever. Assessment, each under threshold. New. Agent conquers. Minimal pays, avoid alerts, outside SUV loaded for C's. Vehicle shines, soon taken, jewels accounts from fraud. All tied crime, Hayes notes, life on stolen. Agent with screen, messages cousin, funds abroad. Delete, try, recovered, Hayes nods, add block. Doorbell at Emily's place. P-fold shows parents worried. Breath, open, James forward, read. Arrested sister. Used our names to Emily government work. Stop, mistake. Margaret grips arm, tear smudge please. Terrible claims, deceit, theft, cuffs. Emily doorway. No invite can't, no mistake. James hardens, can after all, this to sister, family, words heavy, duty, guilt, Emily nothing. She did, I job. Door closes, click final. Weeks later, Emily courtroom, behind prosecution. Attorney stands, voice sure. Defendant Sophia Harper, charged 15 counts deceit, transfer, theft. Sophia at defense, suit plain, hair tight, no gloss. Smaller, reduced. Judge, gray hair addresses. Bail denied, block evidence. Delete records, contact kin, funds abroad. Emily watches tense. Sister avoids look. Prosecutor to cart. Exhibit sound by Sister Emily, supper July. Text sets. Quiet as voice fills. Borrowed credit 90 grand. Thank building. Emily recalls. Glasses, utensils, device weight. Sophia confident, thought no fight. Prosecutor through proofs. Fakes records, assets seized. Jury uneasy. Betrayal foot. All counts guilty. Sophia crumbles, reality hits. Sentencing, prosecutor. Honor, factors. Trust, exploit, hide, no regret. Judge reviews, eyes Sophia. 9 years prison, 5 supervised, restitute full. Ban finance, 10 years post. Gavel echoes. Emily watches Marshall. Sophia looks, disbelieve, expect, save, underestimated years. Marshall's lead out, Emily seated, unchanged. Power, Sophia, charisma, arrogance. Dissolves law, systematic, final, not revenge, thinks. Justice, I position at desk info B, handling same forms years, but world changed. Months post sentence, secure job, new significance. Device rings. Mom, Emily help credit forms. Margaret wavers, regret, shame. Dad tried, but tonight neutral. Numbers ready. Later, home spread forms table. Same where Sophia confessed, toasted, clever. Would same. Explained, detached. Lines removed weeks. Bureaus confirmed. Mom glances sneaky. Dad hands stare. Emotion lingers stain. Financial contained. Device buzz. Text Hayes, office tomorrow. Morning knock Hayes, door time Harper. Clip slides folder. Shill letter. Handling case perfect ethical. Method taps. Lead new anti-deceit force. Scan lead national. Cord. Quiet one now point identity theft country. Hayes near smile immediate not thanks. Weak envelope attorney parents trust revise. Sophia removed clause added. Sign mail no note evening drop tax papers request. To car dad follows. Light shows lines slump. Emily beside compact keys nervous. Wait we catch throat clear eyes avoid. Thought quiet weak. Men disciplined. Study moment years waited see. Now nothing no reply. Need not enter car start compact old paid reliable. Merge traffic. Streets quiet. Lights, mirror reflection, content invisible, commuter home, secure job. Powerful, not revenge, flawless job. Freedom not seen, no need be. To expand this story naturally, let's delve deeper into my childhood memories. Because understanding where this all started helps explain why I'm so calm now, why I don't erupt in anger like most people would. Growing up in that suburban house, Sophia was always the one who shone brightest. I remember our elementary school days when she'd come home with perfect report cards and our parents would pin them on the fridge like trophies. Mine were good too, but they'd glance at them and say something like, that's nice. Emily, keep trying. Sophia got the piano lessons, the dance classes, the summer camps where she could network with other bright kids. I got books from the library and encouragement to be practical. One summer, when I was 10 and she was 13, she convinced our parents to let her host a neighborhood talent show in the backyard. She performed a dramatic monologue and everyone clapped. I helped set up the chairs and served lemonade, staying in the background. After Mom hugged her and said, "You're going places, Sophia," Dad nodded along, proud as could be. Me. They thanked me for helping, but it was like an afterthought. That pattern repeated through high school. Sophia was prom queen, debate team captain, always in the spotlight. I was on the honor roll, volunteered at the local shelter, but it was quiet work. No fanfare. When I chose to study finance in college, they called it sensible. When Sophia went for business, they called it visionary. Those early years built my armor, taught me that visibility isn't always power. Sometimes it's the unseen who hold the real control. And now, with this fraud hanging over me, I draw on that lesson every day. Let's think about my daily routine at the FOB to see how it prepared me for this. Every morning, I arrive at 7:45, coffee in hand, and dive into the stacks. Compliance isn't glamorous. It's poring over transaction logs, spotting anomalies in wire transfers, flagging suspicious patterns that could indicate money laundering or embezzlement. I've closed cases on executives who thought they were untouchable, siphoning funds through shell companies. One time, I uncovered a scheme where a mid-level manager at a regional bank was approving loans to fictitious borrowers, pocketing the fees. It took months of cross-referencing, but when the FBI raided his office, it was satisfying in a quiet way, not because I wanted revenge on him. I didn't know him personally, but because the system worked. Justice isn't emotional, it's procedural. That's what I remind myself as I build this case against Sophia. She's not just my sister. She's a perpetrator in my professional world. I add notes to the file about her past behaviors, things that seem innocuous but build a pattern of entitlement. Like the time in college when she borrowed my student ID to access the library after hours, claiming hers was lost. Or when she used my name to sign up for a credit card offer, saying it was just to get the bonus points. Small things, but they escalated. Now it's a full-blown crime. Expanding on the credit discovery scene, I remember sitting there that day, the office buzzing around me, but I was in my own bubble. After screenshotting the loan details, I took a moment to breathe, to let the reality sink in. $90,000, that's not pocket change. It's enough to buy a small house, or fund a startup, or in Sophia's case, apparently secure a lavish lifestyle she couldn't afford on her own. I wondered then what drove her to it. Was it the pressure of maintaining the image our parents expected, the golden child who always succeeds? Or was it pure greed? I didn't dwell on the why, that's for psychologists. My job is the how and the evidence, so I dug deeper that afternoon, accessing public records for her employment history. Her tech firm salary was decent, around $150K a year, but her social media showed trips to Europe, designer clothes, fine dining almost weekly. Math didn't add up. I calculated roughly the SUV lease alone was probably once $200 a month, the penthouse mortgage another $4,000, plus utilities, insurance. It was unsustainable. That's when I knew this wasn't a one-off, it was a habit. I added those calculations to my file, complete with sources from her posts and public salary estimates for her position. Now to add a new scene, a few days after the credit alert, I decided to test the waters with a casual coffee meetup with Sophia. I texted her, suggesting we grab lats at that cafe near her office, like old times. She agreed, probably thinking I was clueless. We sat outside under umbrellas, the autumn breeze carrying leaves. She looked polished as ever, nails manicured, outfit coordinated. "How's work?" I asked, sipping my drink. "Busy as ever," she said, launching into a story about a big deal she closed. I nodded, then casually mentioned, "Hey, I got this weird alert about my credit. Anything, you know." She froze for a split second, then laughed it off. "Probably spam em. Don't worry, your pretty head." But her eyes darted away, and I noted the tension in her shoulders. It was a small confirmation, but valuable. I didn't push, just changed the subject to family gossip. That encounter added to my calm. Seeing her squirm, even subtly, reinforced that I held the upper hand. Another new dialogue later that week. I called my best friend from college, Laura, to vent without revealing too much. She's not in finance, works in marketing, so it's safe. Over the phone, I said, "Family stuff is getting complicated." She sympathized. "Remember how Sophia always took the bigger slice of cake at birthdays? Some things don't change." We laughed, but it helped me process the emotional side without letting it cloud my judgment. Laura advised talking it out, but I knew that wasn't the path. This needed evidence, not confrontation. Yet, to make it longer, let's explore my internal emotions more. There are moments when the betrayal stings, like when I lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling in my apartment. The place is cozy, bookshelves filled with finance texts and novels for escape. I think about holidays past, how I'd smile through Sophia's boasts, swallowing the hurt. But now that hurt fuels my focus. It's not rage, it's resolve. I imagine what life would be like if I let this slide, constant debt collectors, ruined credit, maybe even losing my clearance. No, that's not an option. So I get up, make tea, and review my notes again, adding details like the exact timestamp of her penthouse post. Adding a new scene at work during a team meeting, my boss Victoria pulls me aside afterward. Harper, you've seemed focused lately. Anything on your mind? I shook my head, everything's fine, ma'am. But she eyed me knowingly. If it's personal, remember we have resources. It was a rare glimpse of her human side, and it reminded me why I respect her. She's been through the ranks, probably faced her own battles. That conversation motivated me to double-check my evidence chain, ensuring no gaps. Months into waiting, I attended a professional conference on financial crimes. There, I listened to speakers discuss identity theft trends, noting how family members are common perpetrators because of trust. One case study mirrored mine, a brother using his sister's info for loans to fund gambling. The victim reported it, leading to conviction. It validated my approach. During breaks, I networked, gathering tips on digital forensics that I applied to my file, like tracing IP addresses from loan applications. New dialogue with parents before the family dinner. Mom called again, pressing about attendance. Emily, it's important. Sophia's excited. I sensed her trying to bridge the gap, but I kept it short. I'll be there. It built anticipation, making me more determined. At the dinner, to expand before the confession, we talked about old times. Dad reminisced about a family vacation to the lake, how Sophia caught the biggest fish. Everyone laughed, but I remembered helping bait the hooks. It was a poignant reminder of the dynamics. Then Sophia dropped her bomb, and the room shifted. Post-dinner, driving to the office, I reflected on Virginia's laws, reassuring myself the recording was legal. At the desk, uploading the file, I felt a twinge of sadness for what the family would become, but it passed. Duty first. In Haya's office, after recusal, we discussed briefly the broader implications. Family cases are tough, she said, but you did right. It strengthened my resolve. A new scene a week after recusal, I met with a counselor through work, confidentially. Talking about the stress, without specifics, helped maintain my emotional balance. The counselor noted, sometimes silence is strength. It echoed my life. When parents called post-arrest, I imagined their shock. Dad's voice cracked, we've always supported you both. But support was uneven, I thought, but didn't say. At the trial, to add detail, witnesses testified, including a bank rep on the forged signature. The jury's faces showed disgust at the family betrayal. Sophia's lawyer tried to paint it as a misunderstanding, but the audio demolished that. Sentencing, the judge lectured on trust violation. Sophia's statement was defiant at first, then tearful, no impact on me. Post-trial, helping parents with forms, we had awkward talks. Mom admitted, we favored her too much. It was late, but acknowledged. With the promotion, new responsibilities leading teams, training juniors on cases like mine, it felt full circle. Finally, Dad's apology in the driveway was the capstone. His words hung, but I drove away free. This script is fully original and does not reproduce the source text word for word.